Another one of my favorite features in Office 2010 is a feature called SmartArt. Now, SmartArt has been around since Office 2007, but it still is available in 2010. SmartArt can be used in Microsoft Word, in PowerPoint, in Excel. It can also be used even in an email message that you might send in Microsoft Outlook. What SmartArt allows you to do is to real quickly create some drawings that you might use to explain to a customer or to a fellow employee of yours how a concept works. You might do it for doing a process flow. You might use SmartArt for explaining an organization chart, for example. So it's a great new feature in Office 2010 that you can use. This video shows you how you go about creating a piece of SmartArt, how you add shapes onto your SmartArt, how you can change the look of your SmartArt, and even how you can change the color scheme of your SmartArt. So enjoy the video.
This first example of creating a piece of SmartArt in Microsoft Word, the scenario would be that maybe you get a call from a prospective customer and you want to lay out the process of how that call gets routed through your organization. So the first step is to create a piece of SmartArt is to go to the top of the ribbon and click on the Insert tab. It changes the look of the ribbon. And on the ribbon towards the left-hand side, about a third of the way across from the left-hand side of the ribbon, click on the SmartArt button. It takes you into a Choose a SmartArt graphic window. Now in this window on the left-hand side, it shows you different categories of drawings that are available in SmartArt. And these are all available in all the 2010 applications. So if I choose, for example, different categories, it'll show me different subsets of pictures that I could work with. For this example, I'm going to use a cycle type drawing. So click on Cycle, and I'm going to see 17 different cycle type drawings. The one I'm going to work with is the very first one. It's called a basic cycle. When I click on that, it shows me a preview on the right-hand side what a basic cycle might look like. And it gives you some text in the lower part describing why I might use this in a document. I'll click OK, and two things will happen. First of all, a 5-step process will be created, and the text area shows up on the left-hand side of the drawing. Now, I don't actually work on the shapes. I work in the text area. So the first step in this process would be I get a call from a prospective customer or client. Then I'll take my mouse and I'll click on the next bullet shape in the text area. The next step on this would be I would refer this to a department for some investigation. Now I could again use my mouse and click on the next bullet shape, but in this case I'll use the down arrow key on my keyboard to move to the next bullet shape. Again, I could have clicked there as well. I get a call from a customer. I refer it to a department. They're going to do some research. So the next step in the process is research. And you notice as I'm typing, the shapes themselves are being populated with the words that I'm using. Again, I use the down arrow to move to the 4th bullet shape. They've got to get some approvals done, so I'll take the word approvals. Now, this time I'll do something a little bit different. I started off with a 5-shape drawing. I want to convert this to a 6-shape drawing, so rather than use the down arrow on my keyboard or click on the next bullet point, on my keyboard I'll touch the Enter button, and what that'll do, it'll put another bullet shape on and convert my drawing into a 6-shape drawing. They're going to respond back to the inquiry, and then I'll move down again to the last bullet point. And the last step in the process is they're going to do a follow-up down the road. So very quickly I can create a drawing for myself. Now I could have done this in previous versions of Microsoft Word. It would have taken me about 10 or 15 minutes to place them onto the document, get them spaced properly, put arrows in between them, put the words in, and so on. But the nice part about this is I can real quickly do the drawing just by working with a new concept called SmartArt. Now I'm finished for the time being working with the SmartArt, so I'm going to go outside the border of the SmartArt. I'll click once, and the border goes away, the text area goes away. Now, if I want to make a change to my SmartArt, I'll go back onto the SmartArt and click. The border comes back on again. Now, also what happens is above the ribbon, an area called On-Demand Tools, in this case, SmartArt Tools appears. And under SmartArt Tools, there are 2 tabs. I'll click on the Design tab, and now I get different choices up on the ribbon section. For example, if I go to the Layouts group, and without clicking, if I just point out a different shape on the Layouts group, I'll see Live Preview. It'll show me what my drawing can be converted to with the same content, but into a different drawing. So I'll just move around, see if I can find something that I prefer better than the one I'm working with. If I want to see more choices, there's a scroll bar to the right of the Layouts group. The scroll bar on a ribbon always means there's more choices available. I'll click on the down arrow of the scroll bar, and I get more choices, and I'll move around on here. Now, some of these do convert better than others. For example, the gear choice only will show you the first 3 pieces of text in your text area. So I'm going to move around and I'm going to choose this one here instead. I'll go back to my original one, and I've now maybe converted my SmartArt to a different style or a different layout. Now I can also change the color of my SmartArt by going up to the Change Colors button, and I click on that. I get a rainbow of different color effects. Again, I can use Live Preview to move around to see which one I prefer. I prefer this choice here, so I'll click on this color choice. I have more choices on the right-hand side as far as different SmartArt styles. Now, some of these are very subtle changes, so I'll just point out a few of them just so you can see the small changes that are being made to it. Some of them are more of a three-dimensional look to it. If I want to see more choices, I go to the scroll bar to the right of SmartArt Styles, click on the down arrow. Again, all the down arrows up on the ribbon section always means there's more choices. And in here I get some more choices, including some three-dimensional choices that sort of put a polished look on the pieces of the SmartArt. So I'll choose this choice here, I'll click on it, and then when I'm finished, I'll just click away from my SmartArt, and I now have my SmartArt created. Now after I have my SmartArt created, maybe I want to get rid of one of my shapes. For example, in this process here, we really don't need approvals, so I'll go back on my SmartArt again, and I'll go onto the left-hand side of the screen to the text area. I'll get rid of the word approvals, and I'll backspace just by backspacing it out, and when I do that, it gets rid of that the word and the bullet, and it reworks itself into a 5-shape drawing. I'll click outside of the border again, and now my on-demand tools disappear, and I have my SmartArt now created. The second example I'll show you about creating a piece of SmartArt will be done in PowerPoint 2010. In this example, we'll be putting together a basic organization chart for an organization. So I'm on a brand new slide in PowerPoint. I have a blank slide in front of me. I'll go back up to the top of the ribbon and click on the Insert tab to change the look of the ribbon. Again, towards the left-hand side of the ribbon, I'll click on the SmartArt button. It takes me to the same window that I saw in Microsoft Word. It shows me different kinds of SmartArt categories on the left-hand side. In this case, I'll click on the Hierarchy choice. It then shows me different kinds of hierarchical type drawings. The very first one is called the Organization Chart. I'll click on that. It shows me a quick preview on the right-hand side. And I'll click OK. And that'll start up my organization chart for me with a person at the top of the organization, their assistant, and 3 people at the first or second level in the organization. So let's do some typing over the text area. Again, I type in the text area, not in the actual shapes. I use the down arrow key on my keyboard. I'll move to the next bullet point, which is the next shape. And I'll type in the words executive assistant. You can see how the fonts are changing as I'm typing. I'll use the down arrow again. It takes me to the next person in the organization chart. I'll type in VP Vice President Sales. Use the down arrow again. I'll type in VP Operations. Down arrow again. You can see how quickly you can build these organization charts. It's just a matter of typing the information in. I'll type in VP Marketing. Now I'm finished with that level, but what I want to have is a fourth person on this level. So I want to add another shape onto it, and I want the new shape to be to the right of VP Marketing. So I take my mouse up to the ribbon, towards the left-hand side of the ribbon. I click on the arrow part of the Add Shape button. I get a drop-down list. Now I'm going to be choosing Add Shape After, but if I want the new shape to be to the left of VP Marketing, I would go Add Shape Before. So click on Add Shape After. It reworks the drawing for me, puts a brand new shape in to the right of the VP Marketing shape. It makes that shape active as well. And I'll type in VP Finance. And I now have this level of the organization completed. I'm now going to go back to the VP Sales position, and I want to add a few positions underneath the VP Sales. So first of all, I click on the position which will have some people reporting to it. I go back up again to the Add Shape button and click. And I'll move down to where it says Add Shape Below. In other words, I want a shape reporting to the VP Sales. I'll click on that. It reworks the drawing. It puts a brand new shape on. I'll type in Manager Inside Sales. I'll go back up again to the VP Sales position. I want to have another person report to the VP Sales. If I was still active on this position here and I went to add a new shape on, it would have a person reporting to this shape. I want the next person to report back up to VP Sales. So I click on VP Sales. I go back again to the ribbon, to click on the arrow part of Add Shape. I click on Add Shape Below. It puts another person reporting to the VP Sales position. I'll type in their position name. Manager Retail Sales, and then I'll go back up to the VP Sales position again. I can continue to add more positions on by going to the Add Shape button. But the other thing that I might decide to do is to change the look of the way the things are reported to, in this case, the VP Sales. So I go back up to the VP Sales position, which I'm already active on. I'll then take my mouse up to the ribbon and find the Layout button. I'll click on the Layout button, and this gives you some different choices as far as how positions would report to the lead position. So right now, just click on some different choices. I'll click on Standard, and that way they're going to sort of be off to the side. I'll click on Layout. I'll move to left hanging. Now get me hanging with items moving off to the left of the sort of the branches coming off of the position. I'll go to Layout again, and I'll choose right hanging, and they're going to be to the right of the branch this time. And I'm going to leave them like this, and I'll just click away from that area. Now, if I chose to, I could change the color again, just like I did in Microsoft Word. So I go to the Change Colors button, and I can move around looking for some different color choices. Some of these will actually change the colors of different levels in the organization. I'm going to stay with the blue color. And I could also, if I chose to, change the style of the organization chart, get maybe more of a polished look to it or more of a three-dimensional look to it. Same idea that I had in Microsoft Word when I made the drawing in Microsoft Word. I'll choose this one here, the Inset one. And then when I'm finished, I'll click outside of the border, and I now have my organization chart completed. If I want to make a modification to it, maybe change a position or change some wording on it, I go back near one of my shapes and click. The border comes back on again. My on-demand tools come back on again. And I would just click on a shape in order to make a change to the wording on the shape, for example. And when I'm finished making any changes, I'll go back outside of the border, click away from it. I now have my organization chart completed. So again, SmartArt is a great tool for being able to do process flows, to explaining a process, or in this example here, of creating an organization chart for your organization or your department.
So there you have it, some information about using SmartArt in the different 2010 applications. It's a great tool in order to help you improve your efficiency as you explain to people maybe how a workflow works, how an organization chart lays itself out. Our website, www.joecomputertips.com, has plenty of other videos that show you different ways to become more effective and efficient as you use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and other 2010 Office applications. Please join us on our site. My name again is Joe Peterson, and thanks for watching this video.